Denise. They came all the way from Singapore, and they're a band called Dezaster. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for being here. We know it's early. We know musicians rarely get up early, but how has everything been? How have you guys been busy lately? What's been up so far?
Everything's been really good. We just released a new album. It's called No Surrender. Released it in like April 2000 this year, 2019. So it's been a few months now since the release, and so far so good.
So far so good.
Yeah.
So far so good. So what, right?
I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, we've been looking forward to being here. It feels good to finally be here in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
So it's our first time here. So it's really cool. Yeah.
First time playing and first time traveling here to the Philippines, or have you guys been here before?
Well, I think except for the bass player Kim, because he's from Philippines.
Yeah, Kim is.
But I think for the three of us, like Raimi, Denise, and myself, this is our first time actually being in the Philippines.
Oh wow!
Both like traveling here and playing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's very nice place.
He's saying that with a smile on his face. The traffic.
Oh, the traffic. That's a different story. Yeah, the traffic last night was really bad. So, yeah.
Yeah, a solid 2 hours and 20 minutes last night from the airport to the hotel. But take us through the basic Dezaster story. Like how was it formed?
Wow.
Were you always a thrash metal band? Because sometimes when bands form, you think you want to play something, and then you listen to something and you discover something, and then it gets heavier and heavier. Were you always a thrash metal band?
Yeah, we were always a thrash metal band. When we first started out, it's funny because me and Raimi, we used to go to the same school together, and that's how we met. And we had a EP that was released in 2016, but that was with a different drummer and a different bass player.
Okay.
So when we started out the band, we always wanted to be different from the local scene in Singapore, because everybody who plays thrash, they were playing like crossover thrash,
Yeah.
you know. And not there's anything wrong with it, but we wanted to be different, and we loved the classic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted like guitar solos in them, we wanted like riffs in them, like technical riffs in them. So that's what we ventured out to do, and so far it's been going well. I think later on in the years after we released the EP, after we had the old drummer and the old bass player out of the band, we almost called it quits until we met Denise and Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started jamming, and in fact, if it's not for them, the band would be like no more. So
the saviors of the band.
Yeah, they are the saviors of the
They're the
band.
glue that hold everything
Yeah.
together.
And-
Rhythm section.
Yeah, and they are like great musicians to play with, and I'm very, very happy to play with them. Pretty sure for Raimi as well. He feels the same way. And yeah, they really push the band like really hard. So it encourages us individually to play well, to venture out of our comfort zone,
Nice.
which is really cool. Yeah.
The first thing I noticed when Channa first told me about you guys Dezaster, I was like, these guys look relatively young for like old school thrash. But when I saw the promo pictures and the Facebook page, I was like, wow, down to the bullet belts, down to the like. Did you have older brothers? It surprises me when younger people. Obviously, you don't come from that batch of thrash of the '80s thrash. How did you get into it? Like, and what drew you to this particular genre?
Okay, I'll let everybody answer this individually. But for me, growing up, because I used to grow up, and then my dad would play like Deep Purple and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then I have an older brother as well, and he plays in a horror metal band.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I ventured into it, you know. So like, and my mom, she used to pass me like Guns N' Roses, and my mom listens to King Diamond, and she was like, here's King Diamond, you know.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so
What an
like
awesome
I think that's
household.
how it started out for me,
Yeah.
and I drew a lot to the thrash metal genre because I like the political, you know, theme of it. I like the guitar playings in it, you know, because like especially like for Megadeth, you know, it's a guitar players kind of band, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a guitar player, you would definitely appreciate Megadeth. You know, the guitar playing on it, the solos and everything is just really, really cool. Yeah, so Denise.
Hi.
Hello.
So for me, I guess the very first record that I listened to was Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
Yeah, so I guess like from then on I started having a love for rock music and started forming bands and just playing rock, and eventually I got into like Metallica, and I guess my taste for music just started getting heavier over the years. And
Nice.
that's about it. Yeah.
What about Kim?
Yeah.
I guess like if like my parents never really listened to any like metal stuff, right? And like I think if they saw a CD like an album cover of Slayer, they'd kick me out of the house. Catholic parents, right? Yeah. So I remember back in high school there was this the CD where you burn songs in. They were passing that around, and I discovered like Metallica, Megadeth, Black Sabbath, and that CD. And I think without that CD, I won't be here playing with these guys. Yeah.
Nice.
So that changed my life.
For me, I guess it's I think almost like same for us. It's like how we started off like listening to bands like Guns N' Roses, like Deep Purple, and then as we grow old, we want something more heavier, heavier and heavier. Then I think that's what's always been in my life. As you grow old, then like you come to try to find more bands, more heavier styles and all that. But then it's always been thrash metal. That's always been like the main genre that I've always been into, like after venturing out of different genres.
Nice.
Yeah, because I noticed a lot of, especially guitar players, like a lot of the furious guitar players, like not knocking other genres, but if you're talking chops and whatever, it's usually thrash metal, right? I mean, like albums like Master of Puppets, like they're not just metal albums. They're like what Brandon said. They're guitar player albums. Like if you really want to hone your chops, you want to learn songs, you want solos and everything. But was it tempting? Is it hard? Was there a good thrash metal scene in Singapore, or did you guys basically like sort of like have to carry the torch for the scene? Because the few times I was in Singapore, I noticed there were progressive death bands. You had your standard black metal bands, and then you had your hardcore bands. Do you find that you have a lot of comrades, like especially when you were starting out, like in thrash metal?
Starting out, actually no, there weren't much.
Yeah.
Because like over the years, there's been like I would say like a phase. So it used like in the early 2000s used to be like a black metal, death metal kind of thing. Everybody was into black metal and death metal. Everybody was forming black metal and death metal bands.
Okay.
And then up to like I think about early 2010s, and then slowly people started coming out playing thrash.
Okay.
But they were all playing like crossover thrash, party thrash.
Okay.
Like, nobody was doing like the classic stuff.
Yeah.
So right now at this moment, I think there are a few other bands that are doing the classic stuff like us as well. So yeah, I mean the bands and everything, we all in terms of compadre and everything, we are all pretty much together.
Okay.
But just like any other scene, we were speaking last night, right? Just like any other scene, there's always like the internal problems and all that kind of thing.
The factions.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to a show, and everybody's just there for the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say thrash metal, like especially for younger people listening out, of course you have your big four: Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. But like, what other thrash metal bands were you into? Like, did you ever listen to like Exodus or?
Yeah.
So
we listen to Exodus, Corona.
Corona.
Yeah, we like Corona a lot.
Yeah.
Because for the new album, we actually kind of like took a lot of inspiration from, of course, Megadeth and Corona, and a bit Slayer here and there in terms of aggressiveness. So Corona is like definitely one of our top few up there. We really listen to. Of course, you have like Testament, Demolition Hammer, all these kind of bands, Sodom, Destruction, Creator.
So all the greats,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
essentials.
Sounds like SummerSlam.
Sounds a lot like Pulp SummerSlam.
I'm curious, you guys, do they do it in Singapore the same way they do it here? You guys are self-produced, or did you hire somebody out?
Self-produced.
Nice.
We did it all ourselves.
And so where did you guys record it, in somebody's house? Or?
No, we did it in there's this legendary studio he's been around for like years and years. So he's very well known in the underground scene in Singapore.
Mhm.
So it's this place called TNT Music Productions.
TNT.
So he does for so many bands, and it's the legendary Ah Boy. So any Singaporean listening to it, yeah. If you go to Singapore and you go to a metalhead and you just say, "Hey, you know Ah Boy?" He will tell you, "Yeah, I know him." Yeah, so and he's such a really nice guy, so fun to work with.
Okay. How do you differentiate the new album that you're promoting, of course? How do you differentiate that? What were the main? Was it easier because you had experience already, or are you the kind of band that you really push yourselves to?
Okay, we didn't because we know like there are some bands who go into the studio and then they tweak stuff and so on. We did all that before we went in.
So you had a pre-prod session,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So when we went in, we just
Okay.
went in, bam, nailed it, got out.
Got out, not wasting any time. And
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Because like the more time, the more money, right?
Exactly. But like as personal musicians, like do you guys, especially with thrash metal musicians again, they tend to like push the limit, right?
Yeah,
like you play the solo over and over again,
Yeah.
and it's a different story when you're playing it at home and when you play it live
Yeah,
standing up,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So would you say that you guys are pretty? Do you push yourselves?
Yeah, we do
as
push
musicians?
ourselves, yeah. And I think about in terms of guitar playing, me and Remy, I think we would try not to repeat ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Nice.
So like going from like the EP to recording the album, there were a few things that we did differently. Like for the EP, we didn't do it with a metronome.
Oh,
And
nice.
we did it
Oh,
live.
it's all free.
Yeah, and we did it live recording.
Yeah.
And then for the album, we did it with a metronome, so it was a bit different. We're still trying to get used to the tick-tock, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of like
Because
try to catch
sometimes
it,
it gets
right?
irritating, right?
Yeah, yeah. It just sticks in your head, you know.
Yeah.
So like we did that differently, and so we needed some time to get used to that.
Okay.
And then in terms of guitar playing, I think I think the solos were all pre-planned and everything. We did like our own demos ourselves
Okay.
before going into the studio, just so that we can go home and work out the solos ourselves. And of course the lyrics, and Denise can change the drum parts if she wants, like the fills, and Kim can do like different bass lines and try and improve the song.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have.
Also, that means you guys basically go through a demo process as well.
Yes, correct.
So you have like rough recording.
Yeah.
Because that rarely happens these days as well, right?
Especially with younger bands like this.
Yeah, because there are so many bedroom musicians,
Yeah.
like you could edit it, whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's surprising that you guys are demoing.
Yeah, because like I think like for us, we take Dezaster very seriously. So when we want to put something out, we want to make sure that we put something. We want to give it all our 110%.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to go in and give like a half job.
Yeah.
You know. So I think we worked really hard individually on the thing, on our parts individually. So it worked out well for us.
They took it very seriously. That's impressive.
And speaking about working hard, I mean, how is it over there on your part of the globe? Like, are you making money off this thrash metal thing, or do you guys have day jobs, or like
Yeah, we
how
all
do you
have
support
day
it?
jobs and everything.
What do you guys do in the daytime? Like,
As in at work.
yeah.
Well, he's Raimi is animation.
An animator, 3D animator. Actually.
Oh, nice.
3D
Nice.
animator.
Cool.
Wow.
And
That's super awesome.
And Kim, what did you do?
I came here. I'm a software engineer by day.
Software engineer.
Jesus.
Wrong
That
business.
sounds like a lot of math.
Denise, let me guess. You deliver pizzas?
I work for Pizza Hut. No, I'm just
Such a
kidding.
drummer thing.
KFC. Jollibee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still in uni. Still studying.
Still studying.
Two more
Okay.
years to get out of school.
Oh, so that makes you the youngest member of Dezaster. The youngest member has the hardest job to hold down.
Yeah.
On the drums. And what do you do during the daytime?
Secret job.
It's a secret job.
Yeah.
You'd have to kill us.
What are those?
But again, Dezaster, you can talk to them on Facebook at DezasterSG. That's also their Instagram handle. Again, we're going to be playing a song from Dezaster as well, so you can get a taste of them. But the best way to hear and get a taste of Dezaster is to go to Archipelago on Bangkitan Street, Makati. That happens tonight. The gates open at 7 p.m. The show starts at 8 p.m. And Bloodshed and Sid are going to be warming up the
It's gonna be
stages
loud
for-
tonight.
It's going to be an awesome night. They're going to be warming up the stage tonight for Dezaster. And it's really cheap. It's $400, $500. It's basically $10. If you have an iPhone, you have no excuse not to afford $10.
If you have an Android, even.
Even if you have an Android, or if you're basically a human being in 2019, $10 isn't that bad. That's happening at Archipelago tonight. Here's a fun question for you guys. If I ask you guys for your top 3 thrash metal albums right now, without thinking about it too much, what are your top 3?
Brandon, go.
Rust in Peace, Rain Blood, and Mental Vortex, Black Room.
Wow, it's nice.
Denise.
Oh man, Ride the Lightning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Rust in Peace, I guess, and Rain and Blood.
Kim. Kim's got to think about it. He is a bassist.
Damn it. Get a pass ready for
Go ahead.
For maybe Rust in Peace, Bonded by Blood.
Wonder by Blood, that's a good one.
What's that destruction album? Infernal Overkill.
Infernal Overkill, that's a good one too. Yeah, I have that one.
Okay, Kim, now you.
So far so good. Master of Puppets and
Yeah,
probably,
Master.
God Hates Them All. God Hates Us All.
God Hates Us All. That's a left field selection. Huh? That's a pretty modern Slayer album, but that did sound good because before God Hates Us All, it was Undisputed Attitude. Was that? Oh no, it was Divine Adventure. Yeah, that album sort of sucked. I sort of didn't like that one.
Divine Intervention?
How about you? Ins? Let's ask the Metal Road. Top 3 thrash metal albums without thinking about it.
Oh
too
man, Ride the Lightning.
much. Ride the Lightning.
Countdown to Extinction.
Wow.
Cadet.
That's a pretty modern
And Seasons in the Abyss. Slayer.
one. Wow, the slow album.
I love that album.
But yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Channa? What are your top 3 thrash metal albums? Is Euthanasia one of them? Is that your shirt?
No, Rain in Blood,
Rain and Blood.
Rust in Peace, Master of Puppets.
Oh, nice. Right. How about you, Ed?
Master of Puppets.
Puppets.
Steel Power.
I guess we could count that. Pantera was sort of embraced by the thrash metal
Yeah.
scene, right? Everybody played with it, but. Yeah.
And Slayer. Seasons in the Abyss.
Seasons in the Abyss. We have 2 seasons in the Abyss. That's awesome. How about you?
Well, I'm
Did
not.
you listen to thrash?
Yeah, I did. I listened to a little. Like the ones that I come off the top of my head right now are Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and Rust in Peace.
Weird. No Justice for All.
None. I don't know why. Actually, there's what's that
Sass.
song?
Yes,
I like
it's
from
fun.
I'll have to think about that one.
I'm gonna go all purist. Kill 'Em All, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Kill 'Em All is just even the sound of Kill 'Em All, how buzzy the guitars were. That was awesome. All time though, Rain and Blood definitely. It weirds me out. Like anything that Dave Lombardo plays on.
He's a beast. He's a monster.
Yeah,
No question about it.
I'm really not a Boss Stuff fan. He's good,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Lombardo's just different.
He's solid.
Yeah.
More solid than Boston.
Yeah, I have to say so. Of course, yeah, I gotta go with Master. Well, I already have that, and yeah, I gotta do at least gotta do negative. Yeah, there has to be some negative in there. But you know what? I sort of disagree with the whole. I don't know if you guys agree, but I sort of disagree with the whole Big Four thing. I really feel that instead of Anthrax, it should have been Testament.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
Death
wow.
Angel.
Yeah.
Change my selection. Ultraviolence.
Yeah,
Ultraviolence.
Ultraviolence. I'm more of a. Well, what was the album that followed the major label album?
Act 3.
Act 3?
Act 3. Yeah, that was totally awesome for me.
Keep
Makes you
going.
regret stuff, right?
Yeah, why didn't I think of that before?
Anyway, if you guys want to comment what your favorite top 3 favorite thrash metal albums are, there's a whole lot more. Like we haven't even touched like Euro thrash, like Creator.
Oh my gosh.
All those really awesome bands from Europe,
Yeah.
but there's just something about your stand. There's something about Rain and Blood and Master of Puppets. Like these were landmark moments in thrash metal. Anyway, do you guys want to promote anything else? We're going to give the mic to you guys, or do you want to invite people to come to your show today?
Yeah, just drop by in the show, come and watch it. It's cheap. Support us, please. Buy our merch, CDs and t-shirts. We have tons of it. So yeah, we hope to see many people tonight.
Awesome. Guys, if you buy merch from Dezaster, you can buy it directly from them. You can get it signed by them because they're basically going to be hanging out tonight. And yeah, do support the show because I think the plane tickets depend on it, right?
Most definitely.
Because if you don't support the show, Dezaster are all moving to Manila.
Which actually Kim wouldn't mind.
And they're going to be playing every night. Anyway, thanks to you guys. Thanks so much for gracing the show. We really
Thanks, guys.
appreciate you guys
Thank you.
coming down. We're going to be playing something from Dezaster so you guys can get a quick sneak peek of what kind of music they play. Again, the handle is at DezasterSG on Facebook and on Instagram. And we'd like to remind everybody, tonight, Archipelago on Bagtikan Street, Makati. Gates open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. We start off with Bloodshed, then it's Sin, and Dezaster, of course, is our main headliner. Again, we didn't want to put too many bands on the bill because we want long sets from these guys.
And you're going to get them
And
tonight.
you're going to get them. It's going to be really awesome tonight. So don't forget to head over there. You'll see the Metal Royalties peeps over there, and it's inside a food hub, so beer, food is not a problem. All you got to do is bring your butt down there. So
Exactly.
that's awesome. Anyway, here's a song from Dezaster. This one's called, what are we going to play? We're going to play No Surrender. And again, you're listening to Adults Only Radio here on Jam 88.3.
Brought to you by AO Radio, putting the life back in midlife.